After spending all day yesterday in terms of my live stream talking about DC movies, we now have some news from Marvel that is just I don't understand it. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. We have received some news today. Some news is out that basically just might make room for DC to just run away with the ball. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. Maybe DC fandom shook Marvel to its core. Today, it has been announced that Marvel is actually delaying some of their movies. Some of the movies that we have been waiting for are now being delayed. They've made some adjustments where they've canceled some things. They've rejiggered a couple of things, and I want to run through this very, very quickly before my next actual work meeting. If only my life was such that I could just do YouTube content, it would be fantastic. But that is not what I get to do. So I need to cancel that first timer. That is a warning timer is what that is. But let's go to comicbook.com, which is quickly becoming one of my preferred news sources, along with Joe, because Joe gave me the heads up on this a few minutes ago. So Marvel delays Doctor Doom, number 2, Thor 4, and more. And this just broke not that long ago, about 48 minutes ago. This news actually came out on Monday, which is today. Disney announced a shakeup of its upcoming film release schedule. They are affecting things that are coming out from Marvel Studios, which of course is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They are pushing some things out, and so let me jump down to the schedule real quick because I think that might actually be helpful. It says in a press release, Disney revealed these changes right here. So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was originally slated for 3/25, 2022. It is now being pushed to May, a few month delay. Thor, Love and Thunder, previously scheduled also for May 6th, basically, they're switching dates there, has been pushed back until 7/8/22. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is a movie I'm kind of excited about that. Even though Black Panther's not in it anymore, I am actually excited about this one. It has been pushed from 7/8/22 to November. So we are about a year out from seeing Black Panther Wakanda Forever on screen. The Marvels, I'm going to be honest with you, that is not one I'm terribly familiar with, but the Marvels has been pushed back from November 11th to February of 2023. Ant-Man and Wasp has also been pushed back from February of 23 to 7/28 of 23. And then they made some other changes down here. This article actually puts forth the belief that these untitled Marvel movies, at least one of them is actually the Blade movie. People are thinking that at least one of them may be the Blade movie, but you can see here, not a whole lot of details. 2 of them have been removed and one has actually been pushed back from 11/10 to, that actually doesn't make sense. I think that's maybe an error. Down here at the bottom, it says from 11/10/23 to 11/3. Maybe it's been moved forward, but maybe it's been moved forward. Maybe it's not a mistake. And so just some interesting changes that are taking place here again with Marvel. Basically, one day after or so after Disney made all these major announcements about the things that they're going to be rolling out. So I'm having a little bit of fun there. Let me read this here. Let me see if there's anything good in there. These delays also affect Disney's upcoming Indiana Jones sequel, which I think is like the 5th installment or something like that. The studio also erased a live action Disney movie from the slate. And again, this paragraph essentially covers what I just mentioned here a few moments ago, that things are being pushed. Now, what's interesting here is that it's not actually telling us why. It's not telling us why any of these changes are coming to effect. So we can assume that it's related to the pandemic, but I don't know. I don't know that that is the case, but some stuff is definitely getting pushed here. The article actually talks about what these changes mean. And the changes mean that there will basically be 3 MCU movies in 2022 versus 4, because something's being pushed out. It also means that there will be a 5-month span between the last movie that is being released this year, which is Spider-Man No Way Home, which I believe is coming out in December, and the next installment of the franchise, which is the Doctor Strange movie. And those two, I do believe, are linked. The Spider-Man movie is very much linked with Doctor Strange, so we're going to get a little bit of a gap there. And the article actually puts forth the notion that potentially we're going to get some additional changes, maybe when it comes to the Disney Plus shows, as they may be filling in some of the gaps. The good news here is that we are still going to get a couple of movies this year. It appears that Eternals is still on track for November 5th. And I know there are some people that aren't excited about this. There are some people that are pretty excited, some people that are excited that they made some departures from some of the costumes that Jack Kirby originally designed. There's some noise out there in the market, but it appears that we're still going to get Eternals on November 5th, and then we're also going to get Spider-Man No Way Home, as I mentioned, in December of this year, with a little bit of a gap happening shortly thereafter. So some interesting news again here about some delays that are going to be impacting the MCU. Again, no real detail as to why this is actually happening. We just have this information, and maybe in the days to come, we will receive some additional insight as to why this is happening, but also if there's going to be some other MCU TV shows on the Disney Plus streaming service that are going to be adjusted as well to kind of fill in some of the gaps. Who knows what is going to happen? I will tell you that if Blade has been removed, that saddens me a little bit, because I think the Blade franchise is a dope franchise that has been dormant for way too long. It was a little suspect, to be honest with you, that its date was still kind of nebulous, at least in my mind, when it was initially announced. And now it appears that it may actually be moving. So Ron is saying that this is a smart move. He says the pandemic has forced too many movies in such a short period of time. 5 months between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange is fine with me. What's funny is that it was Joe. Joe said something like, at my age, a delay means nothing, or something to that effect. So a lot of people are going to be like, hey, whatever, man. As long as I get my movies, it does not matter. A delay here or there is all good. So Told Man is breaking some news here. And I want to highlight this because I think that this is also breaking news. The new Spawn movie starring Jamie Lee Foxx's great-great-grandchild has been moved to 2056. You heard it here first, folks. It is going down. Vanessa is in the house. You are never late, my friend. I was super excited about this one as well. Evil Comics a little disappointed that the Blade again still isn't quite mentioned. There's still some ambiguity here associated with this one, but yeah. Stampede's like, I don't care what you do, just don't mess with the Moon Knight. What's funny is I was literally reading some Moon Knight just earlier today. I was reading some Moon Knight, trying to get my Moon Knight game together so I could be ready. Thomas, thank you for stopping by, brother. I definitely appreciate it. So again, for those folks that are coming in a little bit late, it appears that Marvel is going to be delaying some movies. Instead of 4 movies in 2022, it appears that we are going to get 3 movies. A few things have been pushed out into 2023. That is the late breaking news. It appears that we are still going to get Eternals in November and Spider-Man in December. There will be a 5-month gap between Spider-Man and the Doctor Strange movie, but fingers crossed that we're still going to get some pretty awesome movies, basically, 5 or so movies between the end of this year through the end of 2022, along with some TV shows and things like that. So there you go. Does it say which movies they are taking off? Now, what's fascinating, bro, is that not only do we not get details as to why this is happening, right? We are making some assumptions that it is tied to the pandemic, which is not a bad assumption, right? I mean, that is not a bad assumption, but they also get a little nebulous when they tell us specifically which movies have been eliminated. Down here at the very bottom of the list, what you can see is that they're saying 3 untitled Marvel movies, and they're not saying what they are. They're just saying untitled. They've basically been pushed back. So I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, not pushed back. I'm sorry. These 3 have, or 2 of them have been removed, right? The first 2, and then the last one appears to be moving forward by a couple of days from 11/10 to 11/3 of 2023. this article is putting forth the notion that potentially one of those movies that is being removed is the Blade movie, because that movie is not called out here, along with Doctor Strange, Thor, Black Panther, Marvel's Ant-Man, and also Eternals and Spider-Man. That is one movie that is absent. There could be others. I honestly am, processing through this stuff in near real time. So just again, some interesting stuff. Scrolling down through the thing here. Oh, there you go. Thank you. So it's all the Marvels. Oh, that's right. That's right. I do know a little bit about that one. Thank you, Geek. I definitely appreciate it. If you guys get a chance, make sure you check out Geek's channel. He released a video in which he talks about his 60 grails in 60 months. He is selling off some comics in his collection in order to obtain some pretty awesome grails, and he is doing this after having been inspired by some guy named Alex the Comic Hoarder, who I may or may not be familiar with. Just putting that out there. So let me scroll down through some of the comments here. As I deal through a tickle in my throat with no water around here to be found. Terry, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you again. We're doing a very, very quick check-in to let you guys know what is actually going on. There is some speculation here that are the movies delayed because of strike by writers. You would assume that a lot of these movies have already been written, but I don't know, brother. I don't know. I don't want to dismiss your thoughts, because you could be right. I honestly don't know. So thank you for adding some additional food for thought here, for consideration. You are very welcome, my friend. And that is my drop down. That is my drop dead alert that I just set that tells me I have a work meeting starting in about 60 seconds. If you guys came in a little late, I definitely want to invite you to rewatch this one from the top, because I basically ran down all of the changes that are being announced right now related to the Marvel movies. As always, if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram, and stay tuned, because I'm going to be releasing a video later today at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. But if you need me, find me on Instagram, Regie on Instagram, or you can email me, Regie@regiecollects.com. Take care.